One. One more time. Just breathe one more time. I'd like for you all to just breathe normal with your eyes shut. And as you are sitting here thinking, I want you to take all the negative emotions, all the stress, and I want you to just, with every exhale, breathe it out. Inhale fresh, new light. And exhale all the negative emotions that we have. Inhale. And exhale. As you're breathing, I want you to focus on the space in between the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you focus on the space, 1, 2, I want you to think of 3, 4. What you need to learn from today. 1, 2, 3, 4. To be present. 1, 2, 3, 4. To become aware. 1, 2, 3, 4. To be present, to become aware, and to have what you want. To be the person that you want to be. To be aware, present. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like for you to take 4 deep ha breaths. And after your 4th breath, open your eyes and return to the room. You'll be refreshed. You'll be clear, focused, and present. Good. How was that for everyone? Awesome. Perfect. Well, I just want to honor all of you who are here today to learn and to grow. You know, there's a bold law. How you participate here is how you participate everywhere. And so the fact that you continue to show up the way that you are just says that you guys and gals are so dedicated to being the best and to get through this. And so we're all facing challenges right now. And so this is your time for us to take it and as a group, for us to grow and to learn. So there's a certain script that we've been using, which is your objection handling script. So I'm going to type it in to the chat box. For those of you who are new, welcome. We're excited to see y'all. And to isolate the objection. So when you're facing everything that we are right now, and we're reassessing our pipeline and clients' motivation, when they give us an objection and they say, no, I've changed my mind, the first question we want to ask is, what causes you to make that decision? Okay. Then there are 5 steps. So that's the first question, because what that question's going to do, they're going to give you the objection, right? If we beat around the bush, you may go, oh, well, why don't you sell anymore? They're not going to tell us. Yet if we come to them and say, okay, what causes you to make that decision? You're going to get that objection. The first step is to isolate. and dive into it. Okay. Then the second is we're going to acknowledge and validate. I hear what you're saying and it's understandable. One thing that we want to really be careful of doing is saying, "Oh, I understand what you mean." No, because if we get somebody who's real defensive, and right now we're seeing a lot of angry clients. And so if we say, "Well, I understand," they're going to say, "How could you? You're not me." So very careful when we use language. You go, "It's understandable that you're feeling this way. I hear what you're saying and it's understandable." Okay. Then the third is a conditional close. Well, if we were to create the perfect scenario or the perfect plan for you, then would you feel comfortable in buying a home? And then most likely, I mean, how can you say no to that? Some people are just like, their circumstances may have changed so dramatically that, they lost their job and they can't move. Okay, great. That's understandable because with the way the lending, institutions have changed the parameters, that's going to make it pretty close to impossible unless they're paying cash. Then what we want to do is we want to handle. So when you get them, okay, yeah, you know what, that would work. Then you want to handle that situation and come up with a great plan, and you want to close them. So that the steps to handling an objection, and for those who have been on this call, they'll tell you guys, yes, it works. That first question, if we don't ask it, then it goes off on a bunny trail. When we ask it, we get them right to where we want them to be so that we can isolate that objection and dive right in. Okay, so we're using real life scenarios. We're using real life, obstacles. So I'd love for someone to volunteer. This is your time to grow. I do take notes, and with your permission, do I have your permission to stop and readjust you if I feel, that we can get you there quicker? Do I have everyone's permission?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So who wants to be first? And I do time it. I give 3 minutes. Okay, Miss Sandra. So what you got for us?
Oh, you want me to? I thought that you were going to do a scenario and I was going to handle the objection.
Oh, this is y'all. So you guys, so if you have a scenario that you are experiencing and you would like to role play it with one of our associates here. Okay. So Mariana's got something. Sandra, do you have an objection or something that you've been dealing with clients that you'd like to role play with Mariana, or vice versa?
Vice versa.
Okay. So
I have a scenario, if that's okay. And Sandra.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the scenario is I have a listing that I had only 3 showings, and it's been now almost a month, and the prices here have not changed. There's a lot less sales, but the prices are still holding. But so my situation is I'd like them to reduce a little bit or relist, either way, at the lower price. So I would like to go, meet them or, on the phone and ask for that reduction for, let's say, 50,000. Is that a good scenario?
Sure. Yeah. Can I ask you, do they have a problem with reducing the price? Have you asked them? Have you talked about the market and the advantages of reducing the price?
I have not asked them, no. So
okay.
I would like to ask them now, in the next day or so. So if we can role play that would be great.
Okay, so you want me to be the objection to the price, or do you want to be the objection to the price and I'll tell you what I would say?
You tell me what you would say so I can learn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so.
Okay, so Sandra, you're the agent and Mariana is the client, okay?
Got it.
So I'm going to time. Let's go now.
Okay. So, Mariana, as we discussed when we listed your property, it is an art, it's not a science, and until we actually have the property on the market, we can't really know what the price point is going to be. It's been on for a while. We've had some showings. And if you're serious about selling it, then probably we want to get a little ahead of the market. So it's time to do that price adjustment we talked about.
I see, but yeah, remember we said to you that when we list that we really have a number in mind, and you said that you're going to try to get that number for us. I know that the time has changed and all, but I don't know, have you done everything possible to give us that price, like to actually, you know, to get the best price possible at this price range that we are?
So here's the situation. Because I'm looking to change the price, I've sent you the listings for the things
Sandra?
that have. Yep.
Sorry. Okay. So one thing that I would advise, you said, I'm looking to change your price. So that is coming from what you want versus what she needs. Okay.
Right.
So let's start with, let's start over. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to, present it in a way such as, let's say, for example, you were going to the dentist and you know that you needed a root canal, but you were like, yeah, you know what? I don't want a root canal right now. So you did everything possible that you could to not, to do everything possible for your patient so that, you wouldn't have to give them that root canal. Yet in the end, they need that. So, you know what, Mariana, we've done everything possible to get your home sold, and start from that versus this is what I've done and da 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 da. Okay, does that make sense?
Got it.
Okay,
yep.
Let's go.
Okay, so Mariana, we've taken great pictures. We've looked at the listing. We've shown it. We've had great. We've done some great marketing on the property, and yet in this market, it's still not selling at this price. And even though we know that you want to sell it for the most money in the least amount of time for the least amount of aggravation, unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about a reduction in price if we want to sell it more quickly. What do you think about how does that feel to you?
I don't know. Like me and my sister, we were hoping we can get that price, but so it's going to be really difficult for us to reduce the price.
I understand. It's because we talked about that, and of course you hope to get that price. The question is, what is it costing you to keep the house now over the next few months? I mean, if you can maybe hold on longer, 3-4 months, what is it costing you 3-4 months to keep the house? And if you subtract that from the price, where does that put you? We can do the math.
Well, this house been vacant for a while, and we would really want to, to invest some of that money this spring. But so we are really stuck. We feel that we're stuck here, and I don't know. I don't know if you are really helping us.
So you're missing out. So you've got the carrying costs, insurance, taxes, and so on, and the loss of investment. So let's sit down and go and analyze that. And we can look at the market and see what else is sold in this price range. Since it's been on the market, I think you're going to find that that we haven't lost any sales. Nothing in this price point has sold.
Okay.
So we haven't lost anything. Yeah. It's hard when you don't have the conversation. Yeah, got it.
Oh yeah, no, and this is really and I wish we had more time, yet it's to get us a good idea. How can we get them there as quick as possible? And so I'd like to share my notes, and then I'd like for our community to share as well. So I loved it when you started using we, right? So that makes it a partnership, right? Because Great partnership.
Uncomfortable.
Asking her, how does this make you feel? Great question. I love how you acknowledged her when she said, my sister and I want to get as much money. You acknowledged that, which is really good. Acknowledging what our clients are saying to us is so important. And validating. I would have liked some validation, and it's understandable that you guys want to get the most that you can for this house. Okay. And they're stuck. She said, well, we're stuck. And so that could have been a question that when she said, well, we just feel stuck. Okay, well, so may I ask you a question? How do you feel stuck? Like, what does stuck mean to you? Because there are a couple of right now with what's happening, we really focusing on our client emotions, right? That logic makes them think, emotion makes them act. So if we can get to why she feels stuck, then you can help her come up with, well, how can we get you unstuck? And it is, well, we need to get out of this house. Okay, great. So we both agree that you need to sell this home. And then you get that agreement.
Yeah. And my weakness is probably I try to work from a logical and rational rather than emotional basis.
You did really great though. You took the feedback and you used it. So I noticed a change right away. Feedback from anyone else?
I think it's great that she went back for the emotion. Her first go around, she really didn't touch it, but she went back and she kept on saying, don't you agree? And I swear by the language of sales. And so, yeah, don't you agree? That was good. Haha.
Awesome. Great job, ladies. Okay, who's next? Who's got something that they want to work on? Okay, Ms. Rachel.
So I think we all have some people that are like, we want to list, but we want to wait like a month or two and see what happens.
Okay.
And that's been a huge one.
Okay.
And I've tried to say, well, right now, like the market is still really hot. Prices are holding. We don't know what's going to happen in a couple months. So if you wait, like the market might, go totally south. But if you, try now, I know that we're in a good spot at the moment. And people, sometimes it works. And then sometimes people are like, no, I still want to wait like a month or two and see what happens.
So so you're going to be the agent on this and someone's going to play the client. Yes. So what I'd really love, or vice versa, whatever. I mean, whoever gets this and whoever decides that they're going to be the agent, this objection handling script would be perfect.
I need to hear somebody else's opinion on what you would say to the client.
Yeah. So Kaylee, would you be the agent, and Rachel, then you're going to be the client?
Okay.
Oh, man.
You just looked way too ready.
I did.
Yes.
I'm ready to listen for someone else's opinion because I kind of have the same thoughts as Rachel.
Kaylee and I was going to say,
I don't mind being the agent on this one if they want to listen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome, Laura. Okay. So I'm going to start my timer. And so just really look at that. Man, that objection handling script will get right to the cause of why.
I don't know what script you're talking about.
Oh, it's in the chat. Oh, wait a minute. Can you see it in the chat box?
I don't know. I don't have the chat open. Hold on. I don't see a chat box. I usually have it right here. Hold on. Maybe I'm clicking the wrong screen.
Yeah, there's nothing written in the chat.
What? Okay, hold on. Let me do it again.
I see it.
There. Did it go through now?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
There it is.
Yeah, what causes?
I just copied and pasted it again.
Oh, there goes the chat. Hold on. Let me open that.
Okay, and Laura, I'm pretty sure I've got your, let's see, Laura.
I see that we're supposed to isolate, acknowledge, and then the conditional close, but I still don't see a script.
So the first question is what causes you to make that decision, and then they're going to give you that objection right after you ask that question.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The objection, acknowledge and validate. Because when you
Gotcha.
acknowledge and validate, that wall that they have is going to go down. Okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So do you want me to pretend like I'm calling her as like Rachel, let me ask you a question. Are these people that you talked to 3 months ago that were wanting to list in the spring? So you're just making your care calls and that's where the conversation's going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, Rachel. This is Laura Lerman with the Lerman team. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How's COVID affecting the family? Are you guys making it okay? Able to get your milk and your toilet paper?
Yeah, we're all right. We're just really nervous about doing anything at the moment.
Yeah.
We wanna hold off a little bit and see what happens. See what happens in the world.
I get that. I'm hearing that from so many of my clients, and it's completely understandable. So that actually brings me to the main reason I called. We spoke a few months ago, and you were wanting to list your home. Is that something you're still maybe thinking about doing?
I think. Sorry, I was gonna say I was just listening to other stuff.
There's so much. Can everybody turn their microphones on mute? Like, you guys are super loud in the background.
Yeah, I'm actually about to put a thing right now because I can hear it sounds like a TV or something's on.
Yeah, it's like somebody's in their car with the radio going or something.
There we go. No.
There you go. Whoever you just muted was it. All right. So my question was, that was the reason for my call. I know you're ready to list in the spring. So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on that? How are you guys feeling about possibly listing here soon?
I think that my husband and I are just super nervous about what's happening. And I think we want to just hold off and see what happens to the market in a month or two.
Okay, so I understand you're nervous. Tell me what you're nervous about. What causes you to be nervous in this market?
Just and this is literally what people are saying, just the uncertainty of what's going to happen. That's literally all they're saying is like, they're just uncertain.
Okay. So when people ask me that, my response is, what about that makes you nervous? What is uncertain about selling your house?
Right. Yeah, exactly. They might not have anywhere to go to. They can't.
Okay.
They can't they might not be able to find a place.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question. If you're concerned about not being able to find a place, what if I told you I have 10 proven strategies to help you find a home that's currently not listed that will put you as the only buyer in front of that seller? Would you then consider listing?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay,
yeah.
So do you have some time to do a Zoom call where you and I could sit down maybe for about 15, 20 minutes, and I can actually show you a process that I have that has 10 proven steps to help you find a home. Obviously, we can't guarantee it, but I definitely can sit down with you if you'll give me 15 minutes. And then during that call, I'll also be happy to show you the systems that I've put in place as a realtor and somebody who's the biggest focus that I have is keeping your home safe, because I know that's also a concern for most of my sellers. Would you be willing to sit down with me for 15 minutes and say Thursday? Oh, now Rachel's muted.
My dog started barking and I ran out of the room.
Oh, mine did too. I was like,
okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. So great job. Loved how you, you were able to get her there. The one thing I would be a little careful with, Laura, is saying, let me, or I want to say, may I?
Okay.
And that's the only thing, because you may get somebody who might find that a little, I don't want to use aggressive. Yeah, not aggressive, but like pushy. So just say, may I ask you a question? Instead of, let me ask you a question. And so those are the things that there was just a couple of, where it was a little pushy, and maybe watch that. Be just a little more aware and give her more time to answer. Just maybe pause a little bit more, but great questions. love that. Can I have a 10-point, and that's where she was like, well, yeah.
Well, I had nothing else to say, Laura. There was nothing, like I couldn't say.
And I really do have a 10-point process that I can share with my clients. And it's easy. It's running Facebook ads. Instead of looking for a house, try to sell a house, do a radius search, a $10 ad. Hey, who's looking to sell? I've got a buyer, and tell a little bit about your family. There's some really cool processes out there that help you find, if you know the neighborhood that they want to live in. I have a buyer. You put it at the front of their neighborhood, just one of the little, small signs. There's some cool things out there to help you find houses that aren't listed.
That's a great idea.
Who would you mind sharing that with everyone, Laura?
Yeah. Can I send it to you, and then can you send it out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Erin will share it with everyone. So if everyone can just put your email address. Well, she's got all of my folks' emails, but there are some new folks on here. If you can just put your email in the chat screen, and then Erin will share with. Thank you, Laura, for doing that. So this is our chance to help one another, right? So if we've got something that we can share. I appreciate you guys being willing to do so. Any feedback from Laura or for Laura?
I thought that was awesome. And I was going to ask for the 10-point process.
I guess the only
it was like you just shut it down because it intrigues everyone. It's like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what this is about. So I think that
great job. Okay.
Well, me.
Yeah. All of you gals and guys that have been showing up are just doing phenomenal. Super proud of y'all. Okay. Who's got a problem that they want to work on learning the script? Ooh, I see Beth and John. Okay, Miss Beth, what you got there?
All right, this one is a little weird. We want to fire a client, and we want to, we have 8 days. It expires, it's a listing that expires in 8 days, and we need to dump them. They love us. They're a little crazy, and it's an OPD, overpriced dog, and she is stuck in her head that she thinks, she's like, every time we have a conversation, I'm not dropping the price. A little background, she is like, it's one of those situations where they have a number in their head that they need to get out of the house, irrelevant to what the home is worth. Okay, she's comparing her home to others that have updates that hers doesn't. She actually said to me on Friday, she's like, I got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and money into this house, and I'm thinking to myself, you haven't done squat to this house in 25 years. And she's adamant about it, and it's just, we can't deal with that crazy anymore,
So much of our feedback is the smoke smell, and she continues to smoke in the house.
She's smoking in the house. It's dated. Oh yeah, and then it does back to not a busy road, but
it's a main cut through this subdivision. So that's some of the feedback with the main feedback, and then they get offended. They're like, oh, those people were in and out in 30 seconds. Yeah, because they walked in and smelled it, and they were like, we're done, we need to unload these people. So
don't you love how they go, my house doesn't smell like smoke? Oh.
Yeah, well, the husband calls the wife out on it because he's a reformed ex-smoker, and she's still smoking in the house.
Oh.
So we really, we don't need this kind of client. I want them gone. And
gotcha.
The expiration, and she's like wanting a video, so she wants us to dump more money into her listing by doing a video. She's like, well, let's revisit it next week, and maybe I'll have you do one of those virtual tours you said you were doing on some of your other listings. I'm thinking, girlfriend, I'm not doing it.
Perfect. So who wants to role play with Beth?
I want to be her.
So okay, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, would you be the agent?
I can try. I'll give it my best shot.
Come on,
I'm still kind of a noob, so you have to bear with me a little bit.
No, right on. Hey, this is the best way to learn and to sharpen your skills, is to do it. Okay. I'm going to set my timer, and then I'm going to mute myself.
Well, so should I start from a position of, hey, we're about to expire here in a few days, how do you want to proceed after this?
Yeah, and one way that you could is, listen, guys, because there comes a time when we're in our career when we have to decide if it's the right fit for us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe take it from, are we a right fit? Okay, so let's take it from, let's talk about your property is about to expire, and let's talk about the feedback that we've got and that we have, because as your agent, it's my job to sell your home. So let's talk about, maybe going from there.
You know what else, Teresa? I'm sorry, just one more thing. The other thing is they've declined. This is the worst on allowing showings in. This is pre-COVID because they're temped right now also because they don't want anybody in their house. They let less than 50% of the requested showings in the house. So how do you expect us to sell your house if you're not letting anybody in anyways? So sorry, go ahead. So that's more ammo for you.
So really, when you're about to take a call, what result do you want? So when you think of that mindset, what is the result that you're going to want to get from this, Elizabeth? When you're about to call them, what's the result? So you know that they decline a lot of showings, they're smoking in the house, they're not being realistic with the feedback. And so I would just help, get clarity, let them self-discover. And there comes a time when people just, is it truly a good fit? Is this someone you want to work with? Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a great role play for you to learn.
Oh, I feel so nervous.
Okay. So I'm going to mute myself and start the timer. Let's go.
Hi there. So how are you guys doing with the COVID, and how are you holding up in there?
Good, getting a little crazy being in the house,
Yeah, for sure. So we only have about a week left on our listing right now for your house. How are you thinking you want to proceed after this?
Well, I'm thinking, I want to do that video that you talked about, and you said this way people don't have to come into the home, and, then they could still view it virtually, I think you called it.
Okay, so the video option is a great idea. However, it's really hard for buyers to get to grasp what the property actually looks like just off of a video. And it's really beneficial for them to come into the home and see its pluses and its minuses and be able to, I'm getting a little stuck here.
Okay, so Elizabeth, let's hold on. Let me pause it really fast. So what I'd like is, we know that there's an issue with them. They are difficult clients. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that, yeah, they want to renew the listing agreement. Okay. Well, first let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about how can we get your home sold if we're not all on the same page.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, being more direct about that elephant in the room, okay. So great. So we know that your listing's about to expire. Let's talk about the feedback, and so people love metaphors. They love stories, right? So if you could think of something, and again, I love using the dentist, the doctor, if you know that you are diabetic and your doctor's telling you not to eat that cake, yet every day you're going to eat it, what do you think is going to happen?
Okay.
Well, my diabetes is going to get, okay, exactly. And so as your agent, you've hired me to sell your home, and the feedback that we've shared, would you please, let's review it. Okay. What has that feedback been? And have them tell you what the feedback is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let me start over, and let's, I think addressing the elephant in the room is the way to go in this call. Okay, go.
Hi guys. So our listing is expiring in about a week. So I really just wanted to take a chance to sit down and chat with you about how we're going to proceed from here.
I'm not lowering the price.
You're not. Okay, so
That's what she says to me.
So based on the feedback that we've had on the property, the amount of showings that we've had, the amount of people you have let in, we're going to have to make some adjustments if we're going to re-sign together and continue working together.
What kind of adjustments are you proposing? Because I just think this is you're going to go right after the price, and I don't want to adjust the price.
So remind me of your motivation to sell this house. Why are you looking to move?
It's too big for the two of us now. Our kids are all out. We want to downsize. I think we want to go to a ranch, and we just don't need all this house. And, the taxes in Bloomingdale are crazy.
Okay. So if we are going to, this is tough. It's really hard when that's just the one thing, their one motivation is the number that they're trying to get out of it. It's
yeah,
really
anytime we talk about it, she's just all like, I'm not lowering the price. And for condition, they're overpriced. And I mean, they either need the money they would dump into it, which by the way, they don't have. It would be like a break even. And that's what they don't understand. You know what I mean? If they updated it, it's going to be about even, so you go through all that work and put money in just to up the price, but you're not going to gain a whole bunch in this particular situation. Right. So Laura, why wouldn't you just cut the price and dump it,
Laura's got a share.
So my response to her would be, because I feel like Elizabeth, you might be struggling a little bit.
Yes.
My response to her would be, hey, Mr. Seller, you put a lot of trust in me to sell your home, and I told you that I would be honest with you when I couldn't hit the expectations you were expecting. Right now, your expectation is something I am not capable of providing for you. So at the end of this listing, I'm going to make this easy for you and let you go ahead and interview some other agents. I'd like you to do that. Once this expires, see what expectations they set for you, and I'd like you to pick the best agent for that job at that point. Because when I sign all my clients, this is a very easy conversation for me to have, because all of my buyers and all of my sellers and the special stipulations, I put in there that all parties agree to always smile and be honest. And there's not been one contract that I can't pull them back to that, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, remember we all signed that we were going to smile through the hard times and be honest through the hard times? I'm being honest with you right now. I can't meet your expectations, and it's my job as your agent to fulfill those expectations. And if I can't, to be honest with you, because I signed that in my contract with you. Put that in your contracts. Just it makes these conversations so easy.
I like that. I would
always smile and be honest.
I really, really like that, because you set the expectations up right from the very beginning. And
moment one.
Laura, I can feel that and hear that your tonality is so much like mine. And I'm very black and white. Somebody actually had to move my whole body to look at those beautiful red tulips when I wanted white. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And so I like how you set it up. And I'm all about closing the door or showing the door. That's a sales thing when I used to sell. Hey, maybe this isn't the right house for you. That's okay. Right. There's other people who want it. That's okay. Yep. And usually they're like, oh my God, no.
So. You did a great job, and I appreciate you stepping up and especially being newer to this. Oh, sorry. My homeschooling, kids are home. No, appreciate you. And I loved the second when you started again and you were like, how are you wanting to proceed? That time you were more in charge and you were like, look, how do we want to proceed? We need to talk about the feedback. Great job. You got right to the point. And you were controlling that conversation and you went with the motivation. Want to encourage you to keep coming back to these calls and just keep practicing. You're really good. I loved how you took charge. Nadine?
Thank you.
I was going to say, there was
breaking up is hard to do.
there was a distinction.
We want to fire him. I don't have a problem with that. I just needed the approach, and that was
And
helpful.
want it smooth so she
Yeah.
doesn't bash us.
Right, because I mean, they were listed with another agent, and you know, they saw our signs around, read about us, and sought after us. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't reach out to them; they reached out to us. So we want it to be a smooth exit, you know. But you always have to be careful of crazy, and they're crazy.
Yeah, and sometimes just like how Laura put it in, you know, the ball in their court and said, this is what we stand for. This is who we are. We've asked you to do this, and if you're not going to, then maybe it's best that you go interview other agents and see what they can do differently than what we, you know.
Right. Yeah. Love it.
There comes a point where you go, how much energy am I going to give these people?
Right.
Like, how much time am I going to keep spending to convince them to change? Right. And then all that energy that you put into that, you could be putting into something else.
Yep.
You know, I do want to share something my broker always tell us to say, I'd rather let you go than let you down. And I love that.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'd rather let you go than let you down.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, next. Who's got
I also feel real quick that, if you don't mind if I chime in, is that you guys work so hard, so hard. And if they're not willing to work with you to sell their home, you're not in the business of showing homes. You're not. And they have to respect that time. So show them the door. That's my tidbit.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, we have time for probably one more, maybe two. Who has a situation? And are you guys getting the answers that you're looking for? Like Beth and John, did that give you guys some clarity? Awesome. And Mariana, did you get some clarity? Okay, perfect. And Laura and Rachel, you got perfect, because that's what this call is about.
Does anyone have like any other ways they would go about that too, where people just buying and selling, like everybody just wants to pause and not do anything? Does anyone have any other suggestions as well? Like maybe not for listing, maybe buying too. Like I have people that were in the $500,000 range, and now they said just because of what's going on, they want to be down in the 300,000. Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense, but to them, you know, so I'm like, okay. How do you
adjust their budget as well?
Okay.
So we have one that wants to wait because they're anticipating prices are going to start dropping. So they tap the brakes for that reason. So similar.
Yep.
So one thing that we can do, a lot of people, when you're dealing with, and it depends on what personality type they are, right? So knowing, are they a D, I, S, C, how you can proceed with them. So if they're like an engineer, doctor, accountant, someone that's very like, they love structure, they love numbers, hit them show them what the difference is. I mean, the interest rates are so low right now that you can get more for less. So what price point? So here's a great question. What price point, where are you wanting to keep your payments each month? Well, I want to keep my payments at, okay, so perfect. So what you're telling me is if we were to be able to get you into a home for $2,200 a month, that would work for you. Yeah, great. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look. Buying at $550,000 with the interest rate you were approved for, you're able to stay at that price point.
That's such a better idea to go about it that way.
Yeah, and how long are they staying in the house? If more than 5 years, any drop in price should rebound by the time they sell. Yeah, you know, so it's really, we want them to confirm what price they're willing to pay each month for their mortgage payment. We don't want to say, well, you said, because if they go, well, yeah, but I changed my mind. Okay, so great. So what price are you saying that you want to pay for your mortgage payment? What are we willing to work with? So that is the price that we're going to work with. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's take a look.
That's perfect.
So if you're showing them and you're telling them, okay, so this is the amount that you said you wanted to pay and you are comfortable with paying. And if they say no, then they're basically saying to themselves that they don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And it all really depends. Like I said, know who you're dealing with. Because if it's an engineer, that's the way to go, man. Show them. And also structurally what quality you're getting for that price versus what quality you're getting at this price, right? Mm-hmm. Engineer loves how something was built and the quality that it is.
Okay.
Yeah, show them the numbers. Awesome. Anyone else have any ahas that you want to share?
I just want to make a comment about the price dropping. One of the things that I heard on another call that I was at is that this is not like the last downturn in real estate. The last downturn was caused by people over borrowing on their property, and that's not what the case is here. So with the low interest rates that we've got, people have an investment 20-30% in their property, so they're not going to throw them back to the bank. So we're not going to have that precipitous drop in prices that we had before. So if you're waiting, you know, interest rates could go up. There are all kinds of things that can happen. But I thought that was interesting. And particularly if you're in a rural market, people are going to want to get out of the cities and into the more rural areas. So there could be actually a push for more listings.
I'm muted. I was all like, awesome. So any one more, we do have time for one more role play. Who would like to take something that they find challenging right now and role play it so that they can get some ahas on how to handle it? Anyone? Okay. Well, so here's what I'd love to leave you guys or gals with, or y'all, as we say in Texas. What's the one thing that you need to accomplish this week? Okay. And I'm not just talking about business. I'm talking personal, because what we're going through right now, what I'm hearing from a lot of clients and people in general is that, you know, there's this need to just rush, work, keep going, right? What about us? We're forgetting about all the areas in life: work, spiritual, personal, financial, family, like all the different areas. So I really want to encourage you guys to just do something for you. Diane is on my team and she lives just around the block, and we were going to go for a walk. And some of you, I've shared something devastating that happened on my street 3 doors down. And I had a really hard, and I'm sharing this with y'all as a person, and it's been very devastating. We lost a 12-year-old boy 3 doors down who was best friends with my son, my 13-year-old. And I have had a really hard time sleeping. I've been waking up and just really having a hard time. And Diane came over, we were going to go for a walk, and I fell asleep on my bed after all my calls yesterday. And she's calling me, and I woke up. I thought, I think I hear my phone ringing. Anyway, long story short, I just said, Diane, I don't want to walk. I just want to lay in my grass. She came over and we laid in my front yard on my grass. I was like, please, sweet Jesus, don't let a spider crawl on me because I will have a heart attack right now. And I just laid on my grass and with Diane, and we just talked. And last night was the best night's sleep that I had gotten in over a week. So do something for yourself, y'all. Like, I really want to encourage you. Just, know that you're doing everything you can, and it's okay to unplug and just lay in the grass if you want. Right? So just be. Everybody's muted.
Thank you. That's Teresa. I really appreciate it. And I just want to thank the whole group here.
Yeah.
Like I see some really talented people. Like, you know, they really know what to say at every moment. And that's why I learn a lot. And I really thank you for that. And, you know, I hope, you know, you can, I don't know, that would make your day, you know, that somebody appreciates you.
Yeah.
Miriam, nobody knows what to say all the time. Everybody needs to practice and listen and learn. It's you know, truly do not be intimidated, because we all need this.
Yeah, I mean, I get my strength through God, my Savior, and you guys. Like, seriously, I get my strength through my community. I'm all about community. And so I'm so grateful for y'all, and in all the challenges we have in life and just in business and in everything, find what we're grateful for, embrace it, and just lay in the grass. Okay, guys. Make it a beautiful, beautiful day. God bless all of y'all. And again, I'm just in awe of y'all's dedication. Okay?
Thank you.
Teresa.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Good day.
You too.